WNBA is back in the City of Roses.
It's a city that has been waiting for this for over 20 years.
Welcome to the dawn of a new era!
The stars aligned, and here we are. We are the epicenter of women's professional sports.
Portland, welcome to the W.
Portland's WNBA franchise just revealed its new name.
Rose City is officially the home of the Portland Fire.
The brand is bold and modern with historic roots.
The Portland Fire announced their head coach.
Alex Sarama will be the man at the helm of Portland's new WNBA team.
I truly believe we will be creating something unique. They are building the global epicenter for women's sports right here in Portland. And that's because the vision as a franchise is crystal clear.
The time is now. Women's sports is booming, and creating a space specifically for women, for these athletes, with them in mind. We get to lead the way. This is history in the making.
Welcome to Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft.
Well, what a monumental day it is in the Rose City as the Portland Fire now have some players to put onto the roster. I'm Fox 12 Sports Director Nick Krupke, joined by Tayler Hill, a longtime player in the WNBA, a superstar at Ohio State, a Minnesota State high school legend. Tayler, you last played in 2020. How cool is this now? Season 30 of a league, the CBA finally done. Players are getting paid, more teams coming in. Now we're up to 15 with Toronto and Portland joining the fold.
Yeah, this is very special for Portland. They got a team coming back. I'm very excited to see what the fans bring, and I'm very excited to see what the team brings to the city. This is huge.
So important to see what they were going to bring in on this day. They got 11 picks. They made that trade with Chicago, so they didn't get 12. They got 11. What's your overall view of who's all coming to town?
Very versatile team. She's picked a lot of players that can play position between 2 and 5. From the offensive end to the defensive end, all these women can rotate on any position from offense and defense.
So with that first overall pick in the expansion draft, we got a star coming to town, somebody that people know. If you're a WNBA fan, you know Bridget Carlton, 6'2", small forward. This is her 8th season now, played so long in Minnesota. A Canadian national teamer, not playing for the Toronto Tempo, but coming to Oregon.
Yeah, you know what? Bridget is a versatile player. She's going to be a leader. She's been in the league for a long time. She's a veteran. She knows what it takes to win. She's been at Minnesota under Cheryl Reeves. She's been a winning player on a winning team. And so for her to come into Portland as a leader and a veteran is going to be big for them, even also to bring in other players around her.
I was going to mention that, like to have a name like that that's here as free agency, that frenzy is going to be wild when it finally opens, maybe on the 12th or somewhere around there before the college draft. There's about a 1-week window to sign players, and she's a name people go, okay, I can come play with her.
Absolutely, because again, we talked about the length that she brings. We talked about what she brings to the court on the offense and the defensive end, and she knows what it takes to win. That is important in this league, is understanding winning.
So you got a veteran, and then how about a first-year player from last year, Carla Late, 21 years old, that French rookie. We saw her with Golden State last year. It's a great start with your backcourt, and somebody the GM, Vanya Cernovic, she knows her well. Yeah,
I think what Carla brings for the team is that she has a full rookie season under her, but she's played for her now. So she really understands what the coaches want.
And at the third pick, you got to get your big. I know you love a good 6'4" center. Luisa Geisel-Soder, a national teamer for Germany, last with Dallas. This is her 6th season. She's a pivot, plays low, but also can move around. Versatile is the big word of the day. She is that.
Absolutely, and she can stretch the floor. So you need a big that can stretch the floor and guard on the perimeter, because now the game is changing. You don't see bigs just playing with their back towards the bucket. She's a big that can step out and guard those bigs out there.
That's that world global game.
Yes, it is.
Emily Enslinger, she played for the Mystics last. You've been in Washington during your career. She was a 4th overall pick in 2022 by Indiana, though. But a 25-year-old forward, experience enough and a chance to really get her feet set somewhere new.
Yeah, I think for her this is going to be big because she, again, we talk about versatility. She's a player that you could put on the inside or on the outside. She can guard all positions. You could put her on a smaller guard. You could put her on a bigger guard. So she's going to be great for them.
Tayler, I know you well enough. You like defense, and they're getting some of that.
One thing about her, too, is she's a grit player. She's going to bring all the intangibles that you don't see all the time that shows up in the stat line.
And that's kind of who you get in expansion draft sometimes.
Absolutely.
Maybe not the superstar, but enough players that bring in that grit and getting it done. Speaking of, how about Maya Caldwell, 5'11" guard, 27 years old, started at Georgia, played for the Atlanta Dream. She played a lot for the Dream.
Yeah. Maya is her 5th year going into this season. She has found a way to stick around the league, which shows that she's a leader, which shows that she's adaptable to the WNBA. So she's going to be great for here. I think she's just needs to have a foundation for herself here.
So to wrap up that first round of the expansion draft, how about the Australian 6'2", the stretch 4, Chloe Bibby, played for the Valkyries in the Fever last year. Vanya said, boy, hated to see her go last year when she was with Golden State, but she's also a great player to come down here.
Yeah, adaptable. That's what it shows. She's played overseas. She's played here in the WNBA. She's very adaptable. She's played with the Valkyries. She's played in Indiana. So she's played on multiple teams to really understand what coaches want. But again, she's had a real rookie season under her, so she should be great coming in this year.
Yeah, so the expansion draft finally happens after the CBA finally comes together. That meant a big sigh of relief for the general manager, Vanya Cernovic. Had a chance to chat with her after the expansion draft. What a relief it was to finally have players here coming to town. We finally did it. You guys finally did it here. You got players to come. 7-8 months after you got hired. What's the feeling now that you've got 11 names on the roster that have Portland Fire next to them?
It's just an incredible feeling. I think I said it in the media, in the press conference. I don't think I find the words in English to describe actually how I feel. My vocabulary is not there. It's such a monumental day for us, for the city, for the fans. You know, we've waited for this for a while. So just to be here and now kind of have it off my shoulder, yeah, it's just an incredible feeling.
You guys had the plan. You had about, I'm sure, a few dozen different ways this could have broken down. Now that you've seen it, the names are on the roster for Toronto and for Portland. How satisfied are you with how that all went down in the expansion draft?
Couldn't be happier. I feel like from all the mock drafts that we've done, this one is the best. So couldn't be more excited, you know, for the players and how we managed to bring kind of a balanced roster that is kind of per position. And what I'm most excited about is just great people, great teammates, you know, that will come in and share their stories and, you know, are also ready to take this challenge for kind of starting and uplifting a new franchise.
Yeah, very cool. So number one, you guys go Bridget Carleton, okay? You got some versatility, some size for sure, and somebody that's been Big 12 Player of the Year. She's played for a long time in Minnesota. Right off the bat, you've got a proven veteran. What will she bring to the team here?
Oh, it's everything that you just mentioned and being a great teammate. Like you talk to anyone, like who does not want to play with Bridget, you know, so I think she's gonna, not only when she's gonna do on-court, also off-court and help us recruit in free agency. I think that was key. But as soon as we got the list protections and, you know, we kind of had to make the decision who's going to be our one unrestricted free agent, and we all was just like aligned. It has to be Bridget. Any
connection with her in previous
life?
No,
literally no. Like it's funny because like I've met most of the players, but Bridget is someone that I've never crossed paths with. And yeah, like when, you know, we kind of lost the coin flip, but at the end we won it. I was so surprised, you know, that kind of Toronto decided to go that way. And once we knew this is our first expansion draft, like Bridget's name was on it.
Yeah, and that's forever. Nobody will forget that. The second pick you get, Carla Late, 21-year-old French guard, somebody you're so familiar with your time with the Valkyries. Another person that's so versatile and younger on the side, they can really bring it.
100%. Carla's 21, and we forget, you know, how brave she came to the league last year and just like was fearless with what she thought doesn't have, you know, not a lot of experience, you know, playing at the highest level, but so excited that we got to grab her as our second pick. Like you said, she brings a lot of diversity. People don't understand how good she is defensively. She's secretly fast and strong as well. But her ability to get into the paint and just score in traffic is incredible. And I think her shooting, like stretching the floor, is just gonna get better and better. And like we believe in her so much that we want to have her as one of our pillars when we kind of build our roster in the future.
Nice to have a familiar face. It's going to walk into the training camp in a couple weeks and have that as well. Then you got a center, Louisa Geiselsoder from Dallas, 6'4". It's great to have size, right? And she's 100%. Also a player that can go inside, outside.
100%.
Got to have a center.
Like Louisa was another, you know, player that's so versatile, and any coach or, you know, front office person would love to have on the team. So we were quite surprised that she was left unprotected. So it was another kind of a no-brainer a get for us. Incredible human being as well. We have an assistant coach that worked with the German national team, so all her feedback, you know, and notes on her were positive or better than positive. So very excited to kind of welcome Louisa and kind of put her in a position to shine, like you said, interiorly and also stretching the floor for us.
So we can go through all 11 names, but you got places to go, people to see,
yes,
free agency to worry about next. Maybe it's a quick word association then. Emily Enslinger. She's come from Washington. She's been in the league for a while as well. Another 6'1" guard that can do it all.
Correct. Emily brings so much versatility, but also toughness to her. She's very scrappy, you know, so on both ends of the floor, I think we can bring the best out of her, and I think she's going to be an important piece of the puzzle.
Maya Caldwell played in Atlanta, another player. If you follow the
Yes.
WNBA, you certainly know who she is.
100%. She started 20 plus games for Atlanta last year, so you know, we needed that experience kind of going in, not knowing how the free agency will turn out. So it was another, I don't want to say safe, that's a negative, very, very positive pick for us.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Chloe Bibby.
Oh, love Chloe. Another one that we crossed paths with the Valkyries last year. Then she got, you know, picked up with Indiana, and I regretted it for the whole season. You know, another Aussie that just brings so much positivity just to be around every day. And her just shooting skills are, you know, off the charts. She's one of the best shooters, you know, in the league. So excited to see how she translates and shines.
Yeah, that's the first 6 of who you picked, and that's a very versatile group of people from all around the world. It's going to be a very great collective.
Yes.
We know the name Haley Jones from the time she played at Stanford and did so much great things for her, for them, for the Cardinal in the West Coast. Haley Jones.
Yeah, Haley Jones, you know, had I don't want to say started a tough year, like she jumped around and then, you know, settled in Dallas. I feel like, you know, hopefully that's not another stress to kind of plug her out of her situation and bring her to Portland, but we do want to offer her that stability and minutes and position in the team where, you know, she can show her best as well.
One of the names we know from around here hasn't played in Seattle yet, Nika Mule, who's gone through knee surgery twice now, but it's another person that you were so familiar with. She was the 11th pick you picked up on this day in the draft. Why was that important to go into a player that you know is not going to play now, but the future certainly is still bright for her?
Yeah, Nika was a very personal pick to me. I know her since I think she was 14, and we've spent a lot of time on court together through NBA Academy, my time when I spent with the NBA Academies. So I have watched her journey, you know, through UConn and her success, and I'm just so sad that she's kind of dealing with these injuries. And how many times have you heard me say that we have the best performance and medical team in the league? I honestly believe that, and kind of pairing them with Nika, I feel like we can help her get back to, you know, where she deserves to be to play in this league.
Well, there's still more meat on the bone with our conversation with Vanya as we talk about what's to come next. You have free agency and the college draft still to come. We'll talk more about the second round picks with Tayler as well when we return right here on Fox 12.
You're watching Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft. You're watching Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft.
Nick Krupke, Tayler Hill, a 7-year veteran of the WNBA. Now we talk about the second round, and they got a name that we know so well, Haley Jones, 6'1" guard out of Stanford. Of course, won that national title with Cameron Brink back in 2021, Final Four MVP that year. She was the 6th pick by Atlanta in 2023. And Nadia Puak, she's from Melbourne, Australia, 6'3", a first rounder. 24 Nike Hoop Summit we saw her come already play at the Moda Center. Has not been, though, yet in the WNBA. Sarah Ashley Barker, how about a first-team All-SEC 2 times with Alabama and Georgia, the 9th pick by the LA Sparks last year. And Shug Sutton, she's 27, plays both guard spots, a Texas Longhorn, last with those Washington Mystics. And this one, interesting to a lot of people too, and should be exciting down the road. Nika Mule, a second ACL in as many years, but of course a UConn, twice the Big East Defensive Player of the Year. She's only 24, out of Croatia. She's a superstar in the waiting. She comes off the expansion list from Seattle. Who do you like out of those 5 second-round picks there, Tayler, that's going to really stand out and be a future piece, and certainly now as they're going to play a game here in May?
Yeah, I really like them all, but I want to speak on Haley because Haley has been on 3 different programs, 3 different organizations in the WNBA, which goes to show that she's going to be adaptable. She's going to give the team everything that they need. She's going to be whatever the coach needs her to be. She just needs to find a home. So I'm hoping her coming to Portland and being that, she can find her home and leave her feet in her mark here.
What kind of chance and opportunity is this for all the players coming to the expansion draft, but certainly the ones later in the second round, to earn their way on a team that nothing's been proven yet? It's all wide open. What opportunity is this for a player like her?
That's how you come in. You come in with the mindset of that you're fighting every day, that you have nothing to prove for anybody, and there's no favorites with anybody because everybody's coming in fresh. The coaches are coming in fresh. The staff is coming in fresh. So you come in with the mindset that every day is a new, fresh start, and you're just be adaptable to whatever the coaches need in that moment.
Battling for those roster spots now. There's more to come. Free agency, we think maybe somewhere around April 12th. We know for sure the college draft is going to be on the 13th. So more spots, more competition ahead of training camp on the 19th. More now, part 2 of our conversation with the GM, Vanya Cernovic. So you got 11, but you got a lot more work to do. You got the free agency that opens up hopefully in about a week, and then the draft. What does this team still need to compete on night 1?
Again, we have to regroup as a team. I don't want to just say the first thing that comes on my mind right after the expansion draft. Exactly. But I think, we're going to look for the best players available in free agency. I think we can kind of need support on the big position and potentially additional point guards. So we're definitely going to explore that. As you know, there's a lot of players that are going to be available, and we don't know what the timeline is going to be and how many days are we actually going to get to meet the players either in person or via Zoom. Like, none of that has cleared up, but we definitely will now go back, huddle, and kind of make a short list of players that we really need to target, and hopefully they want to meet us, and then it's up to us to kind of do our job to introduce ourselves and convince them they want to be in Portland.
It's great that the timeline is moving ahead. We're gaining players, getting the roster set before the first game, April 29th in Seattle for that preseason opener on Fox 12 Plus. But boy, that condensed timeline, how much of a stressor is that? You get paid the big bucks to do this, but it's not ideal.
No, it's definitely not ideal. So that's why I want to kind of thank our team, because they have been under a lot of stress, not knowing the timeline and not having any answers for them, but they have been stepping in. People have been doing things outside of their job descriptions for the last 2 weeks, and everybody stepped up and showed up for us. So really want to thank our staff. They brought a lot of humor and humility to the process, which was very enjoyable. But yeah, we're going to have to, that's my biggest fear. We're going to have to pick up from a 0 to 100 like this, and having a group of people on the staff that it's around 40-ish that, never worked together, never met each other. It's going to take a lot to kind of be aligned. I always say mistakes are okay as long as we learn from them. So I think everybody's ready to go into this process and just kind of pivot when we need to. We're going to be agile and adaptable, same as we expect from our players.
Yeah, so you had oodles of mock expansion draft. Now you're going to have oodles of mock real college draft.
Yes.
How much do you enjoy that? 3 picks, you have 2 in the first round now that you get to really manipulate and see you can fill the gaps, and really the scout in you comes out.
Yeah. It's going to be a similar process because you don't know what teams are thinking and who's going to stay on a board. So it's very similar process. We're working in buckets, who could be there at our number 7 and who could be in second, third round. So we've spent a few days before we got the protection list just focused on the draft.
You don't even know what day Easter is.
No.
You've been so wild and caught up in this, as part of it, but how do you go back and celebrate now tonight that this first part is done, that you do have 11 names on a list that are coming to town, going to wear a Fire jersey?
Yeah, I think it's very important that we as a staff go back, to our office, regroup, and kind of give ourselves a pat on the back, congratulate ourselves, and also some time to breathe, to acknowledge that we've done an incredible job, recruiting these players. Probably tonight, night off, watch the NCAA games, and then tomorrow we're back at it.
Well, nothing but pure joy and relief for Vanya to have these picks finally come in, and now they can really go back to work, take the night off, and then look and see what they can do come free agency and the WNBA college draft. We're back with more right after this.
You're watching Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft. You're watching Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft.
So the Portland Fire roster beginning to take shape. Number 1 of the expansion draft, Bridget Carlton, sharing on her Instagram story. Of course, played so many years with the Minnesota Lynx. Let's get it. Fire emojis. Yeah, she's going to be part of the Portland Fire. Nick Krupke, Tayler Hill here. Earlier in the day, how about Alex Sarama, the new head coach of the Fire, had a panel discussion at a VIP party at the Hyatt Regency in the Rose City. What's he expect? How excited is he about who's coming to town to play for him as the season tips off next month?
Discussions these last 7 months between coaching staff, performance, front office, and we were just so integrated. And I mean, every decision, I don't think it could have gone better today for us. So you could sense the excitement in the room. It's just couldn't have gone better for the Portland Fire today.
The WNBA draft's coming up as well. Tayler Hill, Nick Krupke here. That's coming up on April 13th. Free agency before that. Free agency like we've never seen before in this league. Yeah. The expansion, the new CBA, season 30. There's more than 100 players that are in free agency what an opportunity this is from a player that played even 6 years ago, how different the league is. Yes, bigger, CBA, more money, more wealth, way to spread it around.
Yeah.
How important is this year for the players, and how cool to be a trendsetter, a trailblazer from a player that had gone through different times than what the league is now?
Yeah, this is such an exciting time for the WNBA and for the players. Like when I played, it was 12 teams, 12 players, 144 girls. You was fighting. So the opportunities that these women are having to play longer, to play on more teams, for the WNBA to draft more players out of college is such a huge thing. So, and then you talk about CBA. They deserve this. Yeah. They deserve this. Like, they have gone so long without getting the things and the perks that they needed, that this was the time. I'm glad the women took a stand when they did, and so now is the time to show what we're all about.
Yeah, the max deal can now be Supermax 1.4. There's a bigger floor as well to make more for the minimum salary. So they got 3 picks, 2 in the first round, 1 in the second round as of right now in New York next Tuesday. 7, 17, and 37 overall. What do you think this team still needs after seeing the 11 in the expansion draft? Anything could happen. They could package a couple of trade picks and move up and make a trade, or make all 3.
Yeah, I think for the biggest thing right now what this team needs is they need guard play, for sure, and they need another solid post player that can come in. We talked earlier about having the versatility between their wing players and their forward players, but now they need somebody who can run the show for them and be their leader on the floor, to be that captain that they need on the court.
You went through training camp 7 different times around the league. It's never been this condensed, right? They're going to have the free agency, the draft, and then open up training camp on the 19th, play a game in Seattle on the 29th on Fox 12 Plus. We'll be live in the pregame show at 6:30. It's a getting to know you phase, not just here in Portland, but all 15 teams in the league are going to be saying the same thing because there's so much movement with the free agency.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is how fast we moved when I played as well. You start it, you go from college, you go to training camp, and you start preseason right away. So the girls are going to be able to adjust and adapt. I think the biggest thing is your leadership. When you talk about Bridget Carlton, she's got to be the one that pulled that young team along with her.
Okay. As we get ready to go, the first step is done. 11 players now coming to Portland. We know that for a fact. April 29th, preseason opener in Seattle. Live pregame show at 6:30, 7 o'clock tip-off on Fox 12 Plus. And then the preseason home opener, May 3rd, Sunday at 4 o'clock against the LA Sparks. 3:30 pregame from Moda Center ahead of the real deal, the first of 44, Saturday, May 9th in the Rose Quarter against Chicago. Exciting times.
Absolutely. Go Portland Fire.
There we go. For Tayler Hill, I'm Nick Krupke. Thanks for watching right here on Fox 12.
Thank you for watching Fox 12 special coverage of the Portland Fire and the WNBA expansion draft.